So, in order to remove the noise and just focus, um, you can't have it all figured out. You just need to decide what gets your attention, and that takes time, and it takes a lot of thinking alone. Just what I like to do personally is just 15 minutes a day, no distractions, no phone, no notifications, no TV, just nothing, just relax and just think. Because I don't know many people that 15 minutes a day, just solely alone, just with your own thoughts. Not many people do that, and when you actually step back and think about it, that's crazy to me, because we need to do more of that. We need to just be with our own thoughts and just understand ourselves a bit more, because attention becomes your life. Most people give theirs away. It's such an important feature of someone is attention span, because being able to listen to people for a long time and have active listening skills and understanding can be a really good career skill and can be really beneficial for your life. And a lot of people don't have that anymore. We can't just sit still. No one can sit still anymore and just be with their own thoughts. And it's crazy. I think a lot of us don't have a focus problem. We just have too much noise in our lives. Most of us look for motivation when really all we need is less distractions. And that's all we need. Less distractions will allow us to carve a path and just focus, instead of just scrolling on Instagram every day, which a lot of people do. I do it sometimes, but being conscious and aware of the habits like that is a really good skill to have as well, because it means you can just take a step back and just think, okay, do I really need to go on this today? Let's have a couple of days off it, and then in a couple of days you can go back on it, go on it for 15 minutes, and then that's it. Boom. Everything in moderation. I think definitely that the big thing is, for me, spending 15 minutes a day, just no distractions, no nothing, no electronics. And I guarantee if you tried this, it would significantly help you. I also think sometimes people get mistaken for noise and how it can make you feel productive. For example, watching productivity and self-improvement videos, for example, like this one, might be making you feel like you're actually doing something with your life, but in reality you're not. You're just watching a video when really you should be taking action and just doing it. And that's definitely a big thing. Another one is, for example, you decide, I don't know, you're gonna run a marathon or something, which is quite a popular one. People never get to do it. People say they're going to run a marathon, and they go tell their whole family and all their friends, and tell them they're going to start training 3 times a week. And then come next week, you've done no training. You've told all your mates that you're going to run a marathon. You're going to run 24 miles in 3 hours, and realistically, you're not. All you're doing is you're just releasing dopamine in your brain, and it's making you feel like you've done something, when really you haven't. And I think that's another thing to consider, is keeping things to yourself. Keep it in your brain. Just forget about everyone else for the time being. Focus on that goal. And then, if you're a week before you do the marathon and you've trained multiple times a week for the last 6 weeks, then tell people, oh, by the way, I'm going to run a marathon. I've been training for a while. There you go. That's how you do it. Because then it's kind of just up to you, it's up to you. It's up to your internal dialogue to, focus on yourself and do the hard things when no one else is watching. And that's why cutting out that noise can really help with that. I think when things get quiet and you start to reduce that noise, it can be strange. Your brain's not used to it. It's like thinking, I don't like this quietness, when really it is good for you. But I think if you give yourself time, it will help. You're gonna start seeing doubts and insecurities appear, because you haven't got any distractions. So then you start to see your true self, and from then you can start to improve yourself. And I definitely think a lot of people use noise and media to often hide themselves, and I think that's definitely the dark side of social media and other medias, and I think it can definitely have an effect on people. Not me personally. I don't really indulge in it too much, thankfully. I think as well, when people talk about this, they go to the extreme straight away, when really you just need to take it slowly. So I would say curate your circle first of all. So you're not going to cut everyone off. You can't cut friends and family off. It doesn't work like that. You can't do that, because they're there to support you. And friendships, yeah, they'll come and go in life, and it will happen. But I think the limiting factor is not everything deserves your daily energy, but most things do, especially your family. I think that's a key thing. Finish off. You've got to remember that. And turn that off. And I think, just to finish off, you've got to remember that if you can control your attention, you can control your direction, because you know which direction you're going to take. There's no distractions, there's no outside noise. It's just you. Just focus. And I think the biggest things to help with that are definitely things like journaling, habit tracking, and keeping a routine, cutting off unnecessary noise. Now, I'm not saying cut off everyone and everything. I'm just saying think about the things that aren't improving your life and cut them off. And then I think silence, I think we all need a bit of silence. Yeah, definitely. More silence. Spend more time by yourself, because then you'll start to learn yourself. And then from that, you can start to piece together what you want to keep and what you want to leave behind. And I think that would really help improve your life and create yourself. But for now, that's all I'm going to say. Remove the noise and focus. That's it for now. See you later, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.